Hey everybody, Rob McKenzie here again. Right, so this is going to be a little two-parter. I'm doing the first part this evening, and I'll try and do the second part tomorrow. So, what am I doing? These little ditty bottles. We've all seen them. Go with the jet boils, brew kits, whatever. They're nice and convenient, small. You can stick them in a pocket, whatever. Then you got the larger ones. Yeah, so side by side, you can see. So these ones are 100 gram, I think. Where are we at? Yes, these are. I think these are 100 grams, and these are 3 something. Typical. I'll pick one that doesn't have a label on it. They all don't. Not all of them do. Anyways, these ones crazy expensive for the amount you get. These are expensive. But then you get the larger ones, the big taller ones. That's when it starts to get a little bit more cost effective. So these are butane propane mix. So what's the thing I'm working on? Well, you've probably seen these. There's been a few people that have seen them out. This is, and by all accounts, these aren't recommended for use. They do work. They'd work better if they were made of quality parts, but they're cheap from another country. I'm not going to say which one. Anyways, the idea with these is you put this onto a propane bottle. Yeah? Typical bottle, LPG. This end screws in here. And then the idea is that you invert the LPG bottle with this in it. This runs down, back up, this runs down into your small canister, okay, and fills it. Now if you haven't seen Wild Ginger Bruce's video, I'll put a link either in an annotation here, there, or down below, of his immensely failed attempt at using one of these, and it's down to cheap, crappy materials. This feels like metal, but I have a feeling it's actually plastic, and I think that's what he encountered as well. So you couldn't get a good fit. Anyways, I'm rambling. I know, it happens. What am I gonna do? Because I'm not using that. And nobody wants to fill one of these with LPG anyways, because propane on its own is pretty useless. You need the mix. So, I bought 2. See what I'm gonna do yet? Have a think. I'll wait. Time's up. Right, what am I going to do? I am going to cut the ends, this end, off both. I am then going to connect a piece of piping to these 2 ends. Why? Why, I hear you asking? Head scratching, tumbleweeds? Well, I want to use a bigger bottle, although I'm going to buy the 800 gram ones or 900 gram ones. I want to use that to fill that. Okay? Pipe goes in between. Yeah? I reckon that's a bit safer because at least these connectors, these fittings here, are actually quality. They're very, very well made. Unlike the hokey bits of plastic and crap that's on this end. I wouldn't trust that. Bruce didn't trust it. You'll see why when you watch his video. So, what am I going to do right now? I'm going to dismantle these, and I'm going to put these 2 together onto one single bit of hose, hopefully. And then the next part of the video, I currently have one of these sitting in the freezer. It's pretty much empty. There's not a lot in it. I'll take the weight before and after filling to test it. What I've actually got is a bunch of these ones. These are the press type fittings, and I don't like them because I have to use an adapter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize the few of these that I've got left, several of these, and I'm going to invert these, connect them up, and fill up my smaller ones. Specifically, this is the one I really want to fill, so I'm going to throw this one in the freezer tonight too. Although it's about half full, so I may empty it first to really give it a good try. Anyways, that's the plan, is to transfer from this into one of these. That's the idea. With the idea being, in the long run, I'll use this one and just keep refilling it a few times until it starts wearing out. Because from what I understand, you can wear the nozzle out. I think it's going to be fine. You'll get a few refills out of it. Hell of a lot cheaper than buying these, because these are like £4, and 3 times the amount is about £4.50. So it's a huge difference in price. Right, let me reorganize the camera, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, hopefully you can see what's going on here. I don't know if I need to get another light or not. I need another light here, actually, up there on the bench. So, what do we need? Get this off. Need a 14 mil, a 12 mil. And I have a feeling that I'm just going to cut this because it's been pressure fitted on, and I've just realized I think what I'm going to need to do is heat this with some hot water to allow me to stretch it. Alright, so that's off. And that one's off. Oh, actually, I didn't need to do that because I got to take it off here anyways. So, this one was 12, I think. There we go. Yep, same problem. It's been pressed on, so. Cut that off. Alright, well that's going. I think what I'll do is get some hot water on the go. I am liking this brew kit, except I really hate the cover it comes with because it's just so tight. God. Water. There's some. In a Blue Peter fashion. Here's some I prepared earlier. Too much. It's not level here. Try and do, just because it'll make things a bit easier, I think, is try and position these. Oh, there we go. Didn't need that after all. Right. So that's just pushed on all the way. make sure that's good and tight. I'm going to check the other one because it's out of the factory. It's good and tight. So what I've done is I position it, hopefully, so that the hose, when it's kind of relaxed, it's basically one is up and one is down, just to prevent you having to, you know, twist it or whatever. So in a relaxed state, it's basically one is up, one is down. So all I need to do tomorrow, once it's daylight, because I'm going to do this outside, I'm not doing this on the inside. If you want to know why, you know, take a guess. Answer's on a postcard. So there we go. How much did this cost? Well, these were, I'll check the price, but I think they were £1.99 each delivered. So I bought 2 of them. You know, we're talking about £4 delivered, give or take. And yeah, job's a good one. And a nice benefit is that each one of these has got a tap on it. So you can control, you can shut one of them off or both of them off. Okay, we have flow, so that's good. Alright, well, that was just a quick one, as I said. I'm going to end it here, and I'll bring you guys back in a second video once I get the rig set up outside, and we'll give this a try tomorrow. The bottle's in the freezer, chilling down. So yeah, let me explain about that. Yeah, can I see myself? Here we go. So why is it in the freezer? Well, we all know what happens when these bottles get cold. You're out camping. This has been sitting outside on the ground all night. You got to light your stove up in the morning, and it just doesn't want to go. Propane and butane don't like cold. The reason they mix them is because together they can operate at a much cooler temperature than individually. Butane itself, people that use those large butane bottles for like the stoves, the little tabletop one burner stove, those tend to pretty much stop when it gets to 0. Much below 0, they don't operate at all. You just don't get any flow out of them, so you got to heat them. So anyways, why is it in the freezer? Well, what you want to do is you want to lower the pressure. The reason that it doesn't work when it's cold is because the pressure is too low inside. So when you want to fill one, ideally you want this to be as cold and have as low a pressure inside as possible. So you freeze it. Sorry, I keep looking at the screen and not at the lens. Common problem. So you want to put this in the freezer to cool it, which lowers the pressure. The one that's outside, again, if you want to, what you should do is not heat it, but if you just put a hot cloth around it or warm it in the house so it's nice and warm, much warmer than this one is, then the flow between the two should occur much quicker. Not having actually done this myself in the past, before at all, weird combination, I understand it can take quite a while to drain from one to the other, so I have no idea tomorrow how long it's going to take. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh the receiving vessel. I'm going to weigh that after I take it out of the freezer. I'm going to weigh this one, which is a brand new one. So I'm going to weigh this one to get its weight, and then I'm going to invert them. I think somewhere I'm sure I must have at least one more brand new one of this size, but I'll look up what the weight should be. I think it's supposed to be around 300 grams, somewhere around there, 280 or something. So that should give me an idea. This is 240 grams, so the most I'm going to be able to put into the other one will be 240, because that's all that's in this one. But as I said, I've got several of these, but in order to use it, I have to use this adapter, which for some things is just simply clumsy. It's one more thing you've got to take with you, and it's not ideal. So I want to stop using the adapters and just get it down to lower equipment. And I'd rather put this in my brew kit. I've worked out that if you've seen my previous video, the woodland bimble, I made dinner and tea with the brew kit, and I I can't remember what the numbers were offhand, but it was 13 grams of fuel went into boiling up enough water for to heat up the meal and to make the brew with what was left. So, you know, out of a 100-gram bottle, you know, you should get a good 8 meals out of a bottle, give or take. Which, you know, if you're out for 2 days, plenty. You'll have plenty of brews and stuff like that. So yeah, right. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll bring you back for part 2 tomorrow. See you later. Gotta tidy up now. That's the fun part, isn't it? It's fun making the mess, but not tidying it up. Cut, cut, cut! For the love of God, cut!